What's going on, all you degenerates? It is Toby, half of the Draft Degenerates. I am the Draft Degenerate again today. I am down a Raz, but I am accompanied by this nice Sudowoodo that offered to step in, so I'm very appreciative of this Sudowoodo, who is going to probably talk about Raz in a negative way multiple times throughout this interview because he's not here. But I am joined today. You know him. You love him. He is everybody's favorite Australian resident of the Discord community. He is the second sexiest dad in the Discord community, second only to a Krabby Shack. It is Flamingo. How are you doing today?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I would be better if Sudowoodo didn't have to fill in today, but otherwise good. So, Flamingo, we wanted to bring you on, ask you a few questions that all your adoring fans back home want to know. Everybody from all the way across the world, away from your make-believe Australia land. They made these questions for you to confirm if you were a real person or not. And the first question that I wanted to ask you was if you could tell us a little bit about your team here. I've got it pulled up on the screen. Just tell us a little bit about your draft process, what you wanted, what you went for, any trades you made, what you're happy with, what you're not happy with, etc.
Yeah, so I'd never done a low-tier draft league before. So I kind of just went with something that looked good round one, and that was tier 2, Medicham.
Yeah.
I just figured it could either punch holes in things or support my team really well, whatever route I went down. And then I had just been doing some mocks with Wakeman, and I was using Grafii, and it was just so funny to steal abilities and do all that sort of shit. So I thought, I'll have to go Grafii. And then everyone was arguing about where Sla-KING should go.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, let's go Sla-KING. And then from there, I just kind of filled out some, special attackers, some slow Pokemon, some speed control, and then some defensive pivots. And they just kind of tried to round out my whole team that way. Have made some trades since, though. Got rid of the Zoroark and Mimikyu and picked up Miss Magius and Crocodile, and then also dropped the Bronzor and picked up Tinkertuff. So that's my trades done for the year.
Yeah. I mean, I think the trades were better for you, to be honest.
I think I agree.
It
still gives me stuff that I can do with Sla-KING.
Oh, yeah.
Actually gives me one extra skill swap on, so that's pretty cool.
Oh god, Miss Magius can skill swap, can't it?
Oh yeah, shit. And so can Tinkertuff.
Oh my god.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well then,
I've got all the skill swaps.
I rescind my statement. I was going to say, okay, so a little less focus on Sla-KING, but never mind. You're even more focused on Sla-KING.
But that Miss Magius also gives me sort of like a crocodile mode as well.
Yeah, that's true. You get the crocodile. You get your. Does it get discharge or does it just get thunderbolt?
No, I think it just gets thunderbolt. Okay. But
well,
it's levitating, so that's nice.
Synergy, yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well then, I mean, I like what you got going on here more than a certain somebody who's being replaced by Sudowoodo.
Big Daddy Raz.
Yeah. He seemed to not like what you had going on here. I personally really like what you've got going on here because I firmly believe Sla-KING is a tier 1 Pokemon. And I believe with the tools you have, it's going to shine through at some point throughout your season.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure going into it, but then you look at it, it's like base stat totals like 660 or something.
A billion.
And in a low tier draft league, regardless of what's going around, if you get a base 660, the only other one that's 600 is Goodra.
Yep.
So I figured something with that base stat total, it's got to do okay.
Right.
And I think I needed to lose that week 1 to kind of get a bit of a bearing on it. Kind of wish Raz was here so he could talk about that a bit, but yeah. And then I think I used what I learned in game 1, in my week 1, to play better in week 2, yeah. And then I got that big win over Krabby, so that was good. Yeah. Who's the sexiest dad now, motherfucker?
I mean, you were looking pretty sexy when you were making Sla-KING go off like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. And also, Tatsugiri went off pretty heavily.
Yeah, Tatsugiri.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about yesterday. It was double water lead by both of us. He led his rain mode. I led Toxapex Tatsugiri. So it was water types all round.
Yeah. And immediately his rain mode was at a disadvantage because Storm Dragon. Shit. But yeah, I mean, I like the Sla-KING centric stuff. I just, like you said, that 600 something base stats is insane because in this format, I think basically everything has like low 500 base stats max.
Yeah.
So like when you have like Gudra or Sla-KING, like with base stats like that, how can you not pick them up?
Yeah. And like Doodle is exponentially better in this format because you've got no Paradox Mons, like the 4 big dark Pokemon, they're out. And then things like Goldango, that's not in it. Palafin's not in it, you can't steal that one. The reason I took Mimikyu initially was because I thought, well, I can't steal its ability, so I may as well take it myself.
Right.
Then, like, it was good, but I just never wanted to bring it, so went for something a bit harder hitting and get me that Intimidate.
Fair enough.
Mm.
And I think a certain Sudowoodo hater would probably agree with you, or would probably say he likes your team a bit more if he were here. Now that you've got like a secondary mode that you can work with, which I mean, versatility is always good. So yeah, I don't see any argument there. But I don't know. I'm a Sla-KING believer. That's the whole point of this conversation. I think Sla-KING is probably going to smash things.
Yeah, and it kind of did that the other day. Like, he was hitting into it with super effective attacks, and it took like 4 of them and was still alive.
Jesus.
Oh, not 4 super effective attacks, but it took 4 attacks, including super effective attacks, and it like just didn't die, and then left on 4 HP at the end and could pick up the final kill. So.
I thought you meant 4 super effective attacks for a second. And I was like, what?
That would be fucking nuts. Yeah.
Oh my god. And then the rest of your team, you've got like priority tailwind and bullshit here too. I love obviously Tatsugiri does well for you for what it did week 2, but I love it here specifically because with your recent trades with like Crocodile, Storm Drain goes in great for you.
That's what I was kind of looking for, was like another water weakness. I know that sounds a bit silly, picking up another weakness, but it just makes Tatsugiri that little bit stronger.
Yeah.
Especially going into like a strong water type team. I think it's just going to make it a whole lot better having that Crocodile there. Yeah,
no, I agree. I think in this case having another water weakness is super good for you.
And I think like I really wanted to run that sort of Toxapex Tatsugiri mode, and the fact that I got to play Krabby week 2 really let that duo shine.
Oh yeah.
Just between like phasing away Draco Meteor drops and being able to surf next to it and boost its other attacks. I just felt it was it's a strong mode for the team.
I can agree. Well, I guess speaking of your team, piggybacking off of that, because I mean we've discussed really the core of what it does, and I think it's a very good team. I think, if I'm not mistaken, now it's no question that in the power rankings, obviously we're correct, and there's no need to dispute that. And I just don't think there would be any need to dispute that at all. But to humor you, I suppose, Wade, I think you were ranked 9th for PR, something like that.
Yeah.
For your placement in RPRs, and I want to know how you feel about that. Do you think that's right? You think that's wrong? What would you do to change it?
I felt it was well. I'm Australian, so that makes me objectively writer. I think that's the English for it.
Yeah.
I think you put me at 9th. I think me and whoever was 8th. Now I haven't looked at it in a while. I think we should have been flipped, but I think that was about the extent of it.
Okay.
I can't remember who that was.
It's funny you say that because I think M-Boss was 8th, and I just don't think M-Boss should have been 8th at all.
No, he shouldn't have been. But I think there was someone above me who I think should have been behind me.
Right.
That put me in 8th.
Okay.
But I can't remember who it was.
Got it.
Definitely not fucking Barbecue's team. How cracked is that team?
It's
Um,
pretty good.
maybe it was. Yeah, I'll have to go back and have a look. But God, there's so many strong teams. I can't remember who it
Yeah,
was.
the power level was pretty high, so I don't remember
Mm.
what the exact ones were because it's been a while since I've looked at it. But I think you were ninth, Boss was eighth. I think Krabby was seventh.
Maybe it was
Sounds right.
Krabby's team. I thought should have been flipped with me
Okay.
or behind me, and then pushed everyone forward. But I also agreed that Boss was definitely
Oh,
too low powered.
I,
Me
I
and Wakeman were like, "The fuck is going on here?"
yeah. I let Rez talk for too long, and then I just kind of forgot what we were talking about, and he went, "So number 8," and I went, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then, literally in M Boss's interview, he goes, "Why did we put that number 8?" And I was like, "Because you wanted it there." Oh my god. And he's not here to defend himself, so I'm gonna roast him for it.
Oh, absolutely, roast away.
God damn that dude. But yeah, I think ninth was probably workable to go up to like 7th, honestly, because or at the very least I advocated for your team. Just know that when we were discussing, I liked it. Somebody else didn't. But, and he's not here to tell you why he dislikes it. Therefore, I'm the one who's correct. So
Yes, objectively correct.
Exactly. So I think it probably could have been higher, and I think M-Bosses should have been way higher for sure too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess your team aside, in terms of like the main season itself, obviously you've already played week 1 and 2 so far, and then you're playing barbecue this week. Is there anybody else that you're like, or anybody you fought so far, or anybody you're gonna fight in the rest of the main season that you're like most excited to fight?
To be honest with you, like, I'm looking forward to this barbecue battle.
Yeah.
His team is very good, and he's like, I swear he's like a savant when it comes to Pokemon.
He's a natural, dude.
He's a natural, and so I'm actually a bit worried about the barbecue battle.
Okay.
I've only played M-Boss once, and that was in the last season of GLDL in Sword and Shield. So we did the Nomax division.
Yeah.
So that would be a good run back because I won that. I played out of my fucking mind that match. So I'm looking forward to playing M-Boss again. But then, because we have the crossover, I know I'm playing Ed and Flame. Can't remember. Maybe I'm playing. I have to check.
Is it
who else I'm playing?
Is it Ollie? I think you're playing.
I hope not.
Fuck me. I wish I could avoid him.
Yeah, it is. It is Ollie. You are correct. So yeah, playing Ollie. So Ollie will be a good run back because I beat him in SPDL and then he beat me in the grand final there.
Yeah. Yep.
So I would like to fucking pump that guy.
Would like some revenge there. Yeah.
Would like some revenge.
For sure.
But Ed's team's kind of cracked.
Ed's team.
I just lost to Panda in PDPL, and he had Mudsdale, Sneasel, Charizard, Magneton, and Tropius. So it would be and Riolu. So it would be almost a complete run back.
Oh yeah, that's like almost exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally fucking cooked that match.
Anyway,
we're not here to talk about PDPL. We're here to talk about.
How did Ed get
UDL.
a PDPL team in a low tier match? What the fuck? What happened? Shit.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
What else? Like, Mudsdale is cracked in this format, and if the Mudsdale teams don't win, I'll be heavily surprised. Mudsdale's just an absolute fucking monster in this format.
Yeah.
And that's coming from the guy with the Sla-KING.
I mean, that's fair.
Because like, compared to a lot of other things, like Mudsdale is like min-maxed really well.
Yes.
So it hasn't got wishy-washy points in speed or special attack. And so it's just got a shitload in attack HP and its defenses. So like, even though it's not a base 600 stat total, its relative stat total to the stats it uses is fucking phenomenal.
It's insane.
So Mm.
As long as Ed plays it right, I think he's probably
Mm.
making playoffs.
I think he lost week 2, and Rolo's
Yeah,
yet to lose.
yeah. He
Mm.
he lost week 2. Rolo is 3-0,
Mm-hmm.
and going
Yeah,
back
Rolo's
to
on a stampede.
yeah, Rolo is probably, I think Rolo's probably definitely making playoffs just because like you never know what he's gonna do, and his team facilitates that very well. His team,
Very well.
I look at his team and I'm like, what the hell is he gonna do with this? But then going back to Barbecue too, Barbecue's 2-0 right now. This kid is
Yeah,
7
he
years
is.
old and he is cooking.
Mm.
He is a
Mm.
natural. I will say I will be
Like,
the first to admit that Barbecue is on a tear.
because he went like hard tripper in week 1, and then week 2 he went hard tailwind and kind of just fucked people.
Kind of just won. Like
Yeah,
it was insane.
because like Heracross and Neuvern were his big ones week 2, and like Sylveon Bronzong were his big ones week 1.
That'll be
Yeah,
something to
cracks.
see too if Rolo and Barbecue both make it to playoffs and it's a father and son in playoffs. That would be interesting to
Yeah,
see. I don't know how it would
absolutely.
work considering they share a Switch, so if they had to play each other, that'd be a little awkward. But I mean, they'll figure it out.
Dad, be a Switch now.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds like Barbecue's gonna get an early birthday present. Shit. Well, speaking of playoffs, do you think playoffs is in the cards for you this season? And what do you think it's going to take for you to get there with all the people that are already with like clean records so far?
Yeah, I think it's. I think I can, but it's going to be a tough trot. I'm going to have to play out of my mind, especially after that week 1 loss. But like I said this. I think I needed to lose that week 1
Mm-hmm.
to really get a grasp on using Sla-KING Grafii. But like my 3 remaining matches in Yellow Division are Barbecue, Emboss, and Thunderball. So, that's a tough trot. And
it's
then
not going to be easy. I'll admit that.
And then I've got Olligator as well as a crossover, plus the Mudsdale team and Flame. I actually have a good idea for Flame's team, so I'm not going to spoil that.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think I've got Flame's number locked in, but I won't say that because I fight him Saturday. So in case this goes up before then. But yeah, I mean, I think you can make playoffs. I mean, you're 1-1 right now, so that's better than like a good third of people right now, because I think a lot of people are 0-2 at the moment.
Yeah.
So which makes
I think I can make a push and get there.
I think you can, especially with a Pokemon as godlike as Sla-KING, and you know.
Yeah. Because even if I'm not top, because it's top 2 from each division go through.
Top 2 are
guaranteed. And then there's 2 wild cards.
2 wild cards per division, so it could be any subdivision that gets them in the division.
Yeah. I think I'd, based on my opponents, I think I would probably be pushing for that wild card slot.
I mean, false modesty will get you nowhere, Wade L. Flamingo. I think you're going all the way, but I think you've got a pretty good shot. You got a better shot than I do because I'm 0-2, so I got to make some miracles happen. But let's see here. Ooh, this is a good one. So we're asking basically every coach that they come on for an interview, just because I think it's a fun thing to talk about. So obviously, like we said, the qualification for playoffs, the top 2 in each subdiv are guaranteed. In like each subdiv, who do you think, at least based off of your not top of your head knowledge, would be first place in each subdiv by the end of the season? Do you think?
Okay. I really like the way Depiz is playing.
Yep.
So, but then like Hippo, but then there's a few crack teams here as well.
Yeah.
But I think like Hippo's team's Depiz's team's still pretty cracked. So I think I'm gonna have to go Depiz.
Okay.
I'm just really liking the shit he's pulling out and the way he's playing. So Depiz there. In Red Division,
Okay.
Like my man Wakeman's there,
For sure.
and his team's pretty cracked. But like Rollo has Mudsdale, and it's hard for me to not go with the Mudsdale team. So sorry, Wakey, but I think I have to go with Mudsdale.
The heartbreak.
Not Rollo. I'm not going for Rollo.
Oh.
I'm going for Mudsdale. Let's just preface that.
All right. It's not you, Wakeman. It's Mudsdale.
It's Mudsdale.
Okay.
And then there's just some cracked coaches in the green division.
Yep.
I think Ollie's undefeated at the moment.
Yep.
And we all know how Ollie's teams work.
The king
They
of
don't
making,
to us, but they do to him.
The king of making a team that makes no sense to me, yet can carry him to a championship.
Then there's like Toxic. He's playing kind of cracked at the moment.
Yep.
So it's Ollie or Toxic, and I think I'm going to go Toxic. Even though he lost to Ollie week 1, I think he learnt enough from that week 1 to be good going forward.
I would think you're on the money about that. From what I've talked to him about behind the scenes, he said he's already got a plan if they have to meet in playoffs.
Yeah,
So I think
have it. And then me in yellow, because I always go for me.
Of course. You've got to be your own biggest fan, otherwise who else will be? Which is a trick question because I'm always your biggest fan. If there are a million fans, I am one of them. If there are 0, I do not exist. Right. Then we've got all of those locked in. So if he mentioned your name, feel special because the second hottest dad in the Discord community just said your name, so you should feel flattered. Oh, let's see here. Another thing that I might want to know, and maybe your adoring fans as well, would be what's your prep process? Because I've always been curious about this. I always watch your videos and I always see you have either stuff that is like mind-boggling to me or stuff that like I just don't think I could pull off ever. So like I want to know like what your prep process is, how you go into a matchup.
So it kind of depends on how serious I'm taking the league. So if I am playing something, probably like my most comical season was like PDCL.
Don't remind me.
And that was just I let my opponents choose my Pokemon, and then I just did stupid fucking sets.
I'm still mad.
I want to use weakness policy Oranguru because fuck you. That's why. But it's not good here. Don't care. I want to use it.
Right.
So that was kind of my mindset for something like that. When it's something a bit more serious, I start with the type chart and go, okay, what looks good here? It's a bit harder now with terrors,
sure,
but you can only terror one Pokemon. So if you kind of cover the type chart to some extent, that's normally where I start. And then I look for my Pokemon which can cover that, and then try and build strategies around it. Something like Sla-KING in UDL,
sure,
it's probably going to come every week. Like it's just too bulky and hits too hard to not just bring it every week. And like you can prep for it, but it's still a fucking Sla-KING. What are you going to take it down with a Masquerain? Like, this is low tier, buddy. So I think like in this league, it's like look at the type chart. And the other thing I do is I try and look for patterns in like either my opponent's play or my opponent's building.
Okay.
So if they use a lot of boosting, then how can I counter that? I think once in UGA, I had a really good lead against one specific lead that my opponent had, and I led it game 1, got monstered. So game 2, I adjusted. He brought the same lead, I beat him. And then game 3, I'm like, every single time he loses, he completely readjusts. So like he's going to go to the lead that I can beat, and he did it, and then I called it, and so I absolutely monstered him with the lead that I wanted to monster him with. So I think, and that was just by watching some of his videos and seeing how he adjusts every time. So I think if you can look at your opponent's patterns and then try and counter's probably not the quite right word, but build to deal with that, then I think you're in a pretty good place. But it does mean you have to watch some videos and that sort of thing, or look at their pastes a lot. So yeah, if you try and go with patterns and build against that, then I think you're in a pretty good spot. And then use the type chart as well to help fulfill that.
For sure. I actually really like that answer because that is very insightful. Thank you for that.
Boom.
What a well thought out answer, second highest dad on the Discord community. Holy shit. And yeah, I really like that. That's like looking at it from a way more analytical position than I think a lot of people do. So I really like that and I respect that. All right. Then that's it for like the questions I have listed, but I have one last one for you, Wade.
Shoot.
I need to know. It's been months since I've heard anything. Is the cardio rock okay?
Cardio rock is doing okay.
Okay, good.
Sitting out in my garden, ready to be lifted at a moment's notice.
Okay, good. Is it being lifted regularly? Are you giving it what it needs?
At the moment, definitely not.
Oh,
I am
shit.
being a bit of a fat lazy cunt at the moment.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. So it's out there suffering.
It's out there suffering in the rain.
Shit.
Maybe I should do it this weekend.
You know what?
I've got Masto coming over. Maybe we do.
There you
cardio
go.
rock.
Lift it up, throw it at Masto, he'll catch it, throw it back like Australians do. Like, come on.
Hurl it into the stratosphere.
Oh my god, yes. Absolutely. With that just built different energy the Australians have, I tell you. Holy shit. Alright, well, good to know that the cardio rock is at least alive and safe. However, I must urge you to lift that cardio rock more because he needs it. But
Alright, I'm putting the cardio rock back in.
yes,
It's coming,
the
guys.
return of the cardio rock. Perfect. I'm taking credit. Alright, then I guess that's all the interview questions I have.
Awesome.
But, Wade, where would be the best place for your adoring fans to find you and watch your matches and stuff at?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is, I think it's just El Flamingo.
Yep.
Who would have thought, right?
Oh yeah.
Let me have a quick look. My channel is El Flamingo, and that's it.
All right.
2 words. And then I'm also on Twitter a bit as well. I think I'm El Flamingo 12 there. So yeah, that's kind of the main places where I am. And I'm on Discord. Come say hi.
There you go. Come listen to
Aussie
him.
scum.
Come listen to him shit on people on a regular basis. It's kind of hilarious, actually. All right. Then thank you for coming on, Flamingo. I super appreciate it. And
No, thank you for having me.
of course, I apologize we had to have a Sudowoodo stand-in for you today, but
Lucky it's a good Pokemon.
exactly. I mean, at least we got a good Pokemon here to co-host with me today. What was that?
Does it still get Sucker Punch?
Yes, it does. It does.
Yeah. What the fuck? Such a good Pokemon.
Exactly. What was that, Sudowoodo? Oh, you said eat shit, Raz? Oh, okay. Got it.
Correct.
Perfect. Thank you. Very, very cool, Sudowoodo. Thank you for that comment. All right. Then that is going to be the end of this UDL Season 4 interview. I want to say thank you to all of you for watching. However, if you are watching this video and you are not subscribed, why in the God's fucking name are you still unsubscribed? How many videos?
My man's got a point.
Like, how many videos have we uploaded? How many brilliant pieces of content have I painstakingly delivered to you? Have I gotten Raz through scheduling hell to get here and put everything out in a timely fashion? I do that all for you, the people at home. And you're not subscribed? Really? And
Disgusting.
also, that's shameful. And you know what else is shameful? Why have you not commented down below and said, oh my god, El Flamingo's mustache is so cool. I want it to be my womb broom. He's so hot. He's so smart. He's so analytical. He's gonna win the whole thing. Like, come on, why haven't you done that yet? And also, why haven't you talked about how hot I am? I try.
That's true. He does try.
I try so hard to be hot. Maybe I won't be as hot as Flamingo. Maybe I won't be as hot as Sudowoodo. But I try. You're making me cry by not subscribing, liking, and commenting.
I'm going to go comment on things right now.
See, and he's a true fan, ladies and gentlemen. He's a true fan.
You should just at everyone on the Discord server. Come on.
Maybe.
You wouldn't let me do it.
Maybe I'll take matters into my own hands and force them all to subscribe or be kicked from the server. Who knows? Alright. Then we're going to sign off for now, guys. Thank you all for watching. If you are watching this video, you are a draft degenerate. And we will see you in the next one. Peace out.
Later.